Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on the NOFSRL channel, and we are here at the Portland International Raceway to qualify for the 8th race of the season in the 2020 NOFSRL Haas IndyCar Series. And our last road course race was a wild one. We're hoping for another great and wild race here at Portland. I would expect the IndyCar race to be a little bit better than the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race that we had here about a month ago. Obviously, these cars are a little bit better built for a small, flat road course like this one here in Portland, Oregon, but we're definitely looking forward to the Aero Grand Prix of Oregon tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Napa Fan. And it should be a fun one. Here's Tristan Allen in the number 39 for Hamill Auto Sports. 77 points off the points lead. He won at Riverside last time we were on the West Coast here. Actually, no, I'm wrong because we went to Auto Club a couple weeks ago. So not the last time we were on the West Coast, but last time we were on the West Coast on a road course. This guy won at the Riverside International Raceway, Napa, Indy, California, about a month ago. And this is going to be the halfway point of the season for these guys here in the Haas IndyCar Series. We got ourselves Kansas, Lime Rock, Mid-Ohio coming up. And this isn't in any particular order. The dual races at Watkins Glen, Canadian Tire, Worldwide Technology Raceway, and the finale at Pocono. A lot of great races coming up here in the Haas IndyCar Series. It will definitely be interesting to see how it all goes down here with 9 races left to go in the season for the 2020 campaign. This is the guy everyone's trying to beat, Chase Harrison, the number 79. 3-time winner this season. Of course, he won on the road course of Lime Rock earlier in the year. Lime Rock is kind of similar to Portland in that it is very difficult to make a pass. But Chase Harris, on the final lap of that race at Lime Rock, made a last lap pass on his teammate Marty Johnson. We'll have to see if he can do that. The chicane, though, this is going to really be an interesting spot as we got a spin. Peyton Hamilton, Thomas Lipscomb. You just see how tight it is. These guys go in there with full force. They get a little bit squirrely entering the chicane, and they got a cut to the left. It's definitely going to be a wild start to tomorrow's 21-lap event here from Portland. Of course, later tonight, Chick-fil-A Cup Series going up to another Northwest city of Seattle, Washington, and the Armory Digital Super Speedway. Those guys are going to race 32 laps on that Super Speedway up there. A Pacific Northwest weekend here in the NOFSRL, at least on the Napa Fan side of things. Number 4, Cole Speed, who, if I'm not mistaken, finished 3rd at Road America last week in that wild race that we had up there in the Elkhart Lake area of Wisconsin. Cole Speed did an excellent job getting that podium finish there, with Stapleton getting the race victory and Chase Harris going to 2nd. Of course, Chase Harris with that 2nd place run puts him at 60 points ahead of Peyton Hamilton. Peyton Hamilton, she's done an excellent job this season, holding on strong as a rookie. Of course, both Chase Harris and Peyton Hamilton rookies to Napa Fan overall. And they have both had very solid runs so far here in their first ever season on Napa Fan. I think I'm more so, in a way, well, obviously you got to be impressed with Chase Harris. 3 wins on the season, but I'm also just as impressed with Peyton Hamilton because he's been much more quiet than Chase Harris on the racetrack than the number 79. And Peyton Hamilton did almost win at Richmond, but she lost that race to, guess who? Chase Harris. So she's definitely had a lot of good runs, and obviously the points show that. 60 points off of Chase Harris. You know, last time we were on a West Coast road course, Chase Harris ended up breaking out and finishing dead last. He's currently 10th quickest. We'll see if he gets any higher with this time here. He goes to 7th quickest, improved his time just a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to be able to improve his time anymore. Tire wear will come into play a little bit in tomorrow's race, as it will here in this qualifying session. Number 4 machine of Cole Speed, though, Niccolo San Mateo, just went to the top of the board. Never mind what I said right there. It's not Cole Speed, it's Niccolo San Mateo, the number 9 machine, who comes in 76 points behind the Indianapolis 250 champion. looking to rebound a little bit. He's slipped up just a little bit, not too much. He's had a solid run since that Indy 250, but only 2 top 5s and top 10s this season for Niccolo San Mateo, and of course one of those being that Indy 250 win. But outside of that, he's had some good runs, and he comes into this event 4th in the points. But Audra Barron, now she is a guy that we've not seen much of this season, quite ironically considering the strong season she had last year. But now she's to the top of the board. Marty Johnson! How about the 75 machine of Marty Johnson going to the outside pole for now? And it very well could be, because passing's going to be difficult tomorrow, that the winner's going to come from the front row. So watch out for Baranowskis and Johnson if they can remain in those respective positions. Of course, Marty Johnson almost won Lime Rock back in the end of May, but lost it on the last lap pass to his teammate Chase Harris. Marty Johnson has been in this series for 4 straight seasons and has never won a race in the Haas IndyCar Series before. It's been a long time since he's run a race on NAPA period, and vice versa. It's been a long time since I've won a race on his channel. So we'll have to see what the number 75 can do if he can get that front row starting position for tomorrow's race. Niccolo San Mateo, 3rd quickest. Max Anderson, Mason Brown, Mitchell Collins for Hairgel Autosport. Hairgel has both of his drivers inside the top 6 right there. Marty Johnson just went to the top of the board. That number 75 looking pretty fast, and of course they have a lot of data from the 79 team of Chase Harris, who has been unmistakably quick this season. So no surprise to see Marty Johnson get a good run here. Of course, like I mentioned, did very well at Lime Rock. Both of the Outer Island guys did very well at Lime Rock. Matter of fact, there's 1-2 over there, and Marty Johnson looking to rebound a little bit here this season. He's 10th in the points, not too bad for the veteran driver. A win would quite possibly put him top 5 in points heading into next week's race at the Kansas Speedway. Which, it's very interesting how the whole schedule ended up working out. When I initially scheduled that Kansas race for the for the Haas IndyCar Series, I should say, NASCAR did not have their weekend for Kansas scheduled initially. But it turns out that it's going to be the same weekend NASCAR is there. So in a way, we will have a Kansas race when NASCAR has a Kansas race, even though it's IndyCar for us, because next weekend it's the Massachusetts week. We got Hillside in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series next Tuesday, and then next Saturday it's at the Boston International Speedway, a fictional racetrack up there in Massachusetts. Both 1-mile-long racetracks, very interesting but unique courses for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, we're going to a fictional super speedway tonight for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in the Body Armor 400. That should be a great one there. Of course, we all know Armory Digital, quite possibly the best super speedway, or should I say fictional super speedway, fictional racetrack ever made for Enter 2003. Very beautiful racetrack up there in Seattle, Washington. Marty Johnson still the fastest, and with the tire wear coming into play, I would imagine that the number 75 might lead us to the green flag tomorrow. Audra Baranowskis is 2nd quickest right now. And that's definitely a great run for her. She comes in 25th in points. It has been a very tough season for last year's Indy 250 champion. Not a lot going well for her. Niccolo San Mateo, this year's Indy 250 champion, will be starting 3rd if they stay in their respective positions. There's Max Anderson looking to start in the 4th position. Then Mason Brown, Mitchell Collins, Cole Speed, Noah Clifton. Clifton comes in 68 points behind Chase Harris. Good opportunity to gain on him. Then Tristan Allen and Andrew Miller rounds out the top 10. Chase Harris currently in the 12th position. Not the best of runs, considering the strong run Chase Harris has had this season, but still a solid run. And we saw what happened at Road America. If I'm not mistaken, Chase Harris might have started like around 7th or 8th for that race, and I mean, he almost won. I think if the Senor Lipscomb incident did not happen last week at Road America, I think Chase Harris might have ended up winning the race, but because he had to check up for those guys wrecking in front of him, that allowed Stapleton to pull away and get that race victory at Road America last week. And, you know, speaking of Garrett Senor, try to see where he is on the racetrack, see where he's qualifying. He had such a good opportunity at getting his 20th career Napa fan win last week at Road America. Could not pull it off. Currently 25th right now, Thomas Lipscomb, the guy got into there. And, you know, watching the replay back and the actual replay in the game, I always save my replays for all my races. I noticed, and you guys did as well when I put it on the screen, that Thomas Lipscomb actually did come in a lap before everybody else in that race. So, in theory, he was on the same strategy as everybody else. However, I still don't think he would have been able to make it to the end, which, you know, I can see why he was going for the race lead. He had nothing to lose, but with no cautions, that strategy was simply not going to work out. Niccolo San Mateo had a very good run going for him at Road America last week as well, but I believe San Mateo might have pulled the same strategy. Of course, he did not get wrecked out, but he had to come into the white flag because he ran out of fuel, and that hurt San Mateo a little bit in the points. And even though he gained the position, he still lost a lot of ground because of that, a lot more ground than what he would have gained. He probably would have come into this race second in points had it not been for that in last week's event at Road America. But a huge opportunity for San Mateo to close back in as he looks to start in the third position for the Aero Grand Prix of Oregon. Should be interesting to see what San Mateo can do. And I mean, first time I mentioned, it's the first time we've come here to the Portland International Racing for the Haas IndyCar Series. So a first-time venue for these guys. Of course, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series came here in quite possibly the worst race the series has ever seen. No offense to Nathan Baird for winning that one, but nothing was going on in that race. Obviously, during the time that race went up, it kind of made a little sense. We didn't want it to be too off the wall or crazy, but this race here might be a little bit off the wall and crazy. Of course, Road America surprised us. That was one heck of a race last weekend over there. We couldn't end up with one here, but this track's much different than Road America. Not as high speed, a lot more technical, and it's flat. There are no banked corners and no elevation changes essentially here at the Portland International Raceway. Of course, there are a couple, little bit of an elevation change, but nothing big enough to compare to Road America. Marty Johnson, Audra Barron on the front row. Johnson with the bonus point towards the championship for winning the pole. Take a look at the rest of the results here from qualifying, and you see Owen Miles, Josh King, a couple of the guys are going to be starting in the back of the field. Peyton Hamilton, one of those guys, starting in the back of the field. That's not good for her because she comes in second in the points. It is very, very difficult to work your way from the back to the front here at Portland, and I'm not seeing Peyton Hamilton surpassing Chase Harris in on the racetrack, I should say, only unless Chase Harris wrecks out in tomorrow's race. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I do not see any ties, which is convenient. That is how they'll line up for tomorrow's Aero Grand Prix of Oregon, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Napa Fan for the Haas IndyCar Series race number 8. Marty Johnson will lead us to the green flag here in this race. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, it is the Body Armor 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Had a great race in the Turkey Hill Series last night. Gonna have a great race, a points-paying race for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series tonight over there at Armory Digital. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Marty Johnson for winning the pole here at Portland. And we will see you guys tomorrow for the Haas IndyCar Series from the Portland International Raceway at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.